What's up? Dennis here, Analog Archives. Alright, today I'm going to be answering 11 questions for Stormwind79 James at Stormwind79. He's reached 400 subscribers. I'm sure he's over that by now. Really cool channel. Cool guy. Talks a lot about black metal. Shit I don't even know about. So, and other stuff too. Death, thrash, other music. He likes all sorts of stuff, but really cool guy. Always supportive of the scene, the VC scene. So I thought I'd do a shout out for him and answer some questions. I thought they were pretty interesting as well. So let's do it. So he's asked 11 questions, kind of about music. Mostly they're all about music, honestly. So the first one is a band which everyone likes but you can't get into. I'm kind of a pretty transparent guy. A lot of people know what I like and don't like, especially from this channel. But one band I don't really mention, probably ruffle a lot of feathers, but honestly could never really get into this band. I don't know why. I've tried over the years. I really like the EP, like the early stuff I really like. The first album's okay, but then this band kind of loses me, and I never really got into them. I always thought they were kind of cheesy and kind of a joke band, honestly. I'm talking about Halloween. This is Keeper of the Seven Keys. Yeah, you know, basic, I guess, power metal, traditional metal, a lot of Maiden-esque stuff on this. Musicianship's really good, I like it, but I don't like the vocals at all, really. And it just has this kind of, like I said, this kind of goofy feeling to it with their like pumpkin guy mascot. And I don't know, I'm not really into metal like that, that's like goofy and has mascots. I mean, besides like, you know, like crossover stuff that's supposed to be, you know, kind of stupid. But these guys just, I don't know, man, they never did it for me. Even on the back cover, they're just kind of, eh. I don't know. Just for me, I never really got into them. Like I said, they can play, and everything's okay. Just coming together doesn't sound great to me. What we're jamming, just so you know, is a band called Abnegation. This is on Good Life, which is mainly known for a lot of hardcore stuff, which this band was hardcore before this album. This still has some hardcore elements to it, but it has a lot of brutal death metal, as you can tell by the cover. And I can't remember when this came out. I want to say like mid 2000s or something like that. I don't see a date on it, but yeah, pretty good shit. If you're into that kind of stuff, brutal death metal. Another band I can never get into, I picked a couple here. This band that everybody seems to like, I don't know why, honestly, Blood Incantation. This album's okay. I saw them play, I think, on this record or the next record. Picked this up just because I was supporting a new band. But this album's okay, honestly. I think this is the best thing I've ever heard by them. And then they just had this kind of Morbid Angel, I don't know. It just didn't sound original and sounded super overhyped. I don't know why this band was they're still overhyped. Not really too sure why. Them and like Frozen Soul and I don't know, man. It just doesn't do anything for me. It sounds very generic and just by the books. Stuff that's already been done a million times and another band's doing it. I don't know. I don't get it, but that's just me. If you like it, more power to you. Alright, next up. Next question. A band you discovered by accident. I don't know if bands are discovered by accident. I guess if you're just like sitting in I don't know. I just don't know, honestly. I get what he's saying, like you heard this band somewhere and you're like, hey, what's that? Or something. Heard on the radio. I don't know. Like, for me, growing up or even now, it's like Now it's easy. You can just listen to a band you want to hear anytime. But I think as far as for me, like everything was by accident because it was just based on what the cover looked like or what the band members looked like or what shirts they were wearing on the back. So I'll kind of pick a band that it was more like a band that I went to go see for free. I saw that they were playing this little show, and I was like, hey, I think I heard of that band. And they were playing for free, and it was at this little club. And the band I'm talking about is Frenolith. And I picked up both of these at that show. This was like 2017. And they're from Denmark, and they were just playing this little club, and in the corner, just a guy with the drums, and everybody was gathered around him. It was a pretty cool show. But I thought that was cool, and I liked their style. Very like doomish, crushing stuff, man. Great band, great band. I still like that band. But for sure, I discovered them by accident because I just went because it was a free show and I had nothing to do that night. So, they're a good band, Frenolith. So that's a band I kind of discovered by accident. Let's see. A band or album you used to dislike but now you like. For me, it's this album by Megadeth, So Far, So Good, So What. When this came out, honestly, I don't think I ever bought it. I think I just heard the Anarchy in the UK cover. Maybe I heard In My Darkest Hour. I don't remember, but I wasn't into Megadeth at the time, and I think this came out in '88. I was already more into like early death metal and stuff like that, so, and I didn't like the sound of this, but after years I went back to it and I really like this album. I like the songs like Into the Lungs of Hell with Set the World Afire, Mary Jane, In My Darkest Hour, Liar, and Hook and Mouth. 502 is the only song in Anarchy in the UK songs I don't really care for on this record, but I think it's a pretty cool record. Something different than I don't think another Megadeth album has really ever sounded like this. And I know they were all strung out probably on this record, so it definitely sounds different, which a lot of people attribute to why they don't like it. It's because it's kind of like off kilter and stuff. But I think it fits this record for me. I like this record. One I never really liked back in the day, but now I like. Another one I picked was this band, Cerebral Fix, Tower of Spite. And I remember actually buying this like at a discounted price on cassette when it came out, which I still have somewhere. But I was like, oh, what is this, like thrash? I think it came out in like early 90s. Yeah, 91. So I was like, oh, this isn't death metal. I thought it was like Bolt Thrower or something by the cover. But yeah, man, this is really good, like crusty thrash. Yeah, I like this, man. This is a really good record. Now that and the next two after are really good as well. Good shit. Definitely check out Cerebral Fix if you haven't. All right, let's keep it moving. A band that changed its style for the better. Okay, so for me, I picked this band, and I wanted to show off my long box, Voivod, and this is the album, I think. Dimensions Hatros. I think this is the record that definitely changed Voivod's style. Killing Technology might be my favorite record by Voivod, but I really like this record too. And I think this was a record that I think was for the best for the band, honestly, because I think this is where they kind of started to have their own very, very unique style that they still have to this day. But this album still incorporated some of the heavier stuff. Even Killing Technology was starting to go in this direction, but this album took it to another level, especially with songs like Tribal Convictions and Macro Solutions to Mega Problems and Brain Scan, Psychic Vacuum. Just fucking really, really great songwriting on here that nobody was doing at the time. Just a fucking amazing record that I think that this record changed the band for the better, because it gave them the opportunity to expand on, you know, their mythos and our mythos for what they considered, you know, the Voivod world of, you know, Morgoth and whatnot. So just really, really good stuff. All right. I mean, they kind of had some slip-ups in the early 90s with their kind of, when they changed the singer and they had like more of a Pantera-ish sound. I think can't remember the name of those records, but I have them. But they're still not bad. All right. A style or band you like that people wouldn't expect. Okay. For me, that's kind of hard because you guys kind of expect me to like everything. I mean, if you're new to the channel, I like a lot of music, but I pulled out just some records, man. Just like, I listen to all sorts of stuff. Like, I really like this Pac-Man Fever record, which is all like video game songs. This is a cool record if you haven't heard it. Different songs like Asteroids and Frogger and obviously Pac-Man. Love Adam and the Ants. This record, just a classic for me growing up as a kid. Love that record still. Love their records. Early Duran Duran I really like, especially this record. Loverboy. This record's awesome. I love the Music Plus sticker too. You know, stuff like Commodores, any soul stuff, underground disco stuff, Harvey Scales' Hotfoot. This is a great fucking record. Kind of a story disco record. Blondie, Funkadelic, One Nation Under a Groove, Gatefold. I have all these records, but you know, other stuff, Toto, Asia, Yes, Rick Wakeman, Depeche Mode. I mean, you name it, I probably like it. And then all the fucking, you know, rap shit I listen to as well. I don't know, some stuff like that, like Nodis, Esham from Detroit, more horrorcore, Andre Nicotina, The Jacka, Big Ocean Mob, Totally Insane, Few Schnickens, King Ghidorah, underground hip hop stuff, Code 4, industrial, minimalistic industrial stuff. Really, that's, I mean, I run the gamut on fucking stuff I listen to. I can listen to country one day, and not like new country stuff, but like, you know, 70s country, and then hip hop the next day, hardcore rap, death metal, black metal, crust, punk, hardcore, you name it, man. I listen to a lot of stuff. I just don't listen to pop. I don't listen to radio stuff. Only thing I don't really like. It just doesn't appeal to me. Unless it's, I don't know, man. I just don't know new bands, new records. And even when I hear that stuff, I'm like, oh, this is horrible. All right, next question. Buried the questions here. An album which lets down a band's discography that can't be Turbo or Saint Anger. Yeah, I just picked this one because Entomb Wolverine Blues, kind of a big letdown. I actually thought this album was okay when it came out, but it just didn't hold up. I just don't think it's a great record. Kind of a one-trick pony. Kind of has this groove metal, not groove metal. Well, it is kind of a groove metal punk type of death, and I guess they call it death and roll. Just this, you know, minimalistic. I don't know. I just don't like it. Just not my thing. I'll just listen to the first couple records. Then they came out with like 3 or 4 albums that kind of just sounded like this, and then try to change back to death metal, and just, I don't know, man. And some of the songs on here are okay. It's just nothing I want to, even if I go back to it, it's boring to me. It just doesn't do anything for me. It's kind of like At the Gates, Red in the Sky. It's just like, you hear like a couple songs and you're like, okay, that just pretty much does it. It's not a very engaging record, I guess, if that makes sense. All right. All right, let's keep going. Number 8, a festival you haven't been to but would like to attend. I don't know, man. There's nothing like I'm like I gotta go to this. I mean, I guess it's just like Maryland Death Fest, something like that. There's nothing spectacular where I'm like, man, I gotta get to this. So I mean, for me, it doesn't really matter. If there's, it just depends on bands, and it obviously would be something in the States. But if I saw like a bunch of bands, because I think Maryland Death Fest one time had like Abhorrence or Macabre in. I think they had God Macabre one year. I would have really liked to see that. But I mean, that would be something I would go to just to kind of hang out and probably see a bunch of people from the VC. So that would be a cool thing to do. A festival that doesn't appeal to you. And I think James kind of said he would go to this, but Obscene Extreme for me, nah. I'm not a big guy that wants to sit around and watch grindcore bands. For me, that's kind of boring, unless they're old school grind bands like a Suck or Plutocracy or something like that. But I don't like the new gore grind bands. It just doesn't really appeal to me too much. So, a festival you could attend to every year. So like something you can go to every year, you'd be fine with. To me, it would be the California Death Fest, which I've been to a few times. I think the last one I attended was in 2017. 2018 was still in Oakland, and then they moved to LA, which was too far for me to travel. They didn't really, it's just like, how many times can you see Autopsy? So, yeah, the few I went to, I got to see like Demolic and Dark Angel and Word of Skull, Demolition Hammer, Violence. I don't know if Violence played. That could have been a different show. Obviously, it's not death, but they always had bands that weren't death. Anyways, they were like thrash, but they called it Death Fest. Cancer, I think, played recently, or on the 2017 one, maybe. I don't remember. But yeah, that would be something we would always go to. Just go and hang out for the day. We'd always go to just one day. It's usually 2 days. First day's more like punk bands or hardcore bands, grind bands. Second day is more death metal, thrash metal stuff. So, that would be it. And the last question: favorite alcoholic drink? Probably. I don't know what this meant. Like as a drink, maybe. So I like a gin and tonic. So that's what we've been drinking. So cheers, James. Probably my favorite. And it really depends on the gin. This is Hendrix, which is a really, really nice gin. If you haven't had it, just good stuff. That in Bombay. I like Bombay gin as well, but I like vodka too. Jack Daniels is a good whiskey once in a while. I don't really drink whiskey, but I will. But IPAs for me, beer. But beer for me, like again, it's like music for me. I could drink pretty much any beer besides like Budweiser. I don't like Budweiser. I don't really like a lot of low-end beers. I think like Coors and Pabst are probably like where I'll go on that. I've had Schlitz and Olympia at like dive bars. It's okay. But for me, it's more like nice IPAs, nice hops. But that's all I got, man. Again, congrats, James. I'll leave a link for his page. Go over there, check his channel out, especially if you like black metal. But again, super nice guy. And you should go join, or at least write in the comments what you like. And he's giving away some cool stuff too, so go check it out. All right, man. Take it easy.